Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
That's a live look at Toomer's Corner in Auburn after the top-ranked Tigers' big win over number 2 Alabama in the Iron Bowl of basketball. This was arguably the biggest basketball game in state history, and it really lived up to the hype. Welcome into Fox 54 Sports. I'm Simon Williams. We got the first ever meeting between the top 2 ranked college basketball teams from the SEC, and it was 2 schools who are pretty proud of their football programs. But if you haven't been paying attention for the last 5 years, really the last decade, this shouldn't surprise anyone. We had 2 Final Fours, a bunch of league regular season and tournament titles, all in the meantime. These Crimson Tide and Tigers have really legitimized their basketball programs, and this season they've got the resumes of real national championship contenders. Now, all of that in mind just further compounds the meaning of this matchup, which is against your biggest rival. Our Nick Kuzma has more from Tuscaloosa.
After a week of build-up, the first ever number 1 versus number 2 matchup of the Iron Bowl of basketball and in the SEC was just as good as advertised. It was even a 5-point game with 30 seconds left to play. The difference, though, Auburn's ability to lock down Alabama around the perimeter and at the rim. Auburn came out of the opening tip looking to get quick separation. Miles Kelly got the scoring started with a 3-pointer, and the Tigers' first 5 shots were all threes, knocking down 3 of them, starting the game on a 9-0 run. The Tide trailed by as many as 10 points in the first half, but have a counterpunch, count the bucket and the foul from Muscle Shoals native Mark Sears. That brought Bama within 3. The Tide's rebounding kept them in the game in the first half, never quite being able to get into a rhythm from beyond the arc. Down 7, back-to-back O boards by Clifford Amore finally pays off with a triple from Auburn transfer Aiden Holloway. It became a 4-point game, but it was just one of Alabama's 2 threes in the first half. Auburn, on the other hand, had 6, and the splashdown from downtown for former UAH star Chaney Johnson sends Auburn into the locker room up 42-33 at the half. Into the second frame, the Tigers once again start off connecting from long range. Newmarket native Denver Jones buries the tray. He finished with 16 points. The Tigers led by as many as 14 before the Tide start to make a comeback. Highlight of the night comes on a lob from Mohamed Diabate to Clifford Amore, throwing it down backwards to make it a 10-point game. But though the Crimson Tide tied the game up twice, Auburn's defense and spread out scoring attack eventually became overpowering. The Tigers hold the Tide to 19.2% from 3 and a sub 39% mark from the field. In total, 6 Auburn players scored 13 or more points in a 94-85 Iron Bowl victory. The Tigers improved to 23-2 overall, 11-1 in SEC play. Bama drops to 21-4 overall, 10-2 in the league.
We were very prepared. Coaches did a great job with the game plan. The kids executed early. You got to play well early if you're going to win on the road. We played well early, as you would expect. Alabama came storming back, and the place was, I've never heard Coleman this loud.
We're not in full control of our own destiny to win the league outright. We are in full control of our own destiny to at least get a tie with the league moving forward, because we do have Auburn's now a game ahead of us, and we got Auburn at their place. So we'll see what type of maturity and leadership we have by how we come in on Monday.
Next up for the Crimson Tide, a road trip to number 21 Missouri, and for Auburn, who's now in sole possession of first place in the SEC, a home game versus Arkansas. Both games are on Wednesday. From Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa, I'm Nick Kuzma, Fox 54 Sports.